Hello, this is that creepy bald guy known as MartialHorror, here to introduce you to another episode of Critiquing the Critics. Today's subject, the happy video game nerd.
Had enough with games that she rates. Let's talk about some games that are great. I'd rather let the people know about the underrated classics of old than bitching past about shitty games like it's been done a million times before. He's the happiest game that you've never heard. He's the happy Nintendo nerd. He's the happy Atari Sega nerd. He's the happy video game nerd.
The movie preview critic once argued that spoofs are the end of a genre's life cycle. When it can go no farther, we start poking fun at it. So this begs the question. Do video reviewing trends fall into the same category? Do they pretty much become genres for it? I mean, angry video game reviewing is probably the most common style of reviewing. And now we have guys like the irritated gamer and today's subject, the happy video gamer, spoofing the crap out of them, and they're not the only ones out there doing it. Does this mean that angry video game reviewing is finally coming to an end? Oh, yes it does. It's not that I think established fandoms will get any weaker, but I do think that as time goes on, new editions will become less and less popular. People are just getting sick of it, and we want to see something refreshing. We want to see a happy video game nerd. So now we can all watch the happy video game nerd, because he's freaking awesome! One of the biggest faults of spoofing web originals is that it's generally done out of insult and ends up becoming mean-spirited. But the happy video game nerd, obviously a spoof of and the angry video game nerd, is a fan. And his spoofing celebrates the nerd while turning all the conventions that the nerd created on their heads. He reviews retro video games, but reviews good ones, the underrated classics as he likes to say. Now let's see how he fares in the reviewer breakdown. His main focus is critiquing. Reviewing games is not easy as there's much to cover and you end up either not being detailed enough or over-detailed. The happy video game nerd beats us by painting a wonderful portrait of what the game does right and wrong, focusing on everything that matters in detail.
And the most memorable thing is the look of the game. Chip and Dale are of course pint-sized gumshoes, so every level is designed from their perspective. It really feels like you're playing a cartoon, more so than DuckTales. I mean, every game has a snow level or a space level, but what other game has giant trees, laboratories, and kitchens? Yes, I know, monster in my pocket, but that's for another day. What I'm trying to say is ninja flying squirrels are awesome.
The graphics, the level and character design, the gameplay, the music, and even the story. Everything that you want to be covered in the game, he covers impeccably. He also covers the context, the circumstances, any follow-ups, and even the legacy of the games. He manages to fit this in approximately 10 minutes, although he definitely has gone longer. Out of all the reviews I've seen out there, I've never seen a game reviewer do a perfectly balanced review, never really getting sidetracked or nitpicky. Yes, I'll be daring and say that in this regard, he even beats the nerd.
There are 3 ninjas to choose from, each with different looks, speeds, and movesets. The first one is, if you can believe it, called Ninja. Now, he is the slow one, but he's a goddamn beast. Just look at the way he throws people around like they're nothing. And I like this. Since he weighs near a damn ton, just check out the way he jumps. Kunoichi is, no pun intended, the well-rounded character, and Kamaitachi is the weak but swift one. He's my favorite. Each of the ninjas have different speeds, throws, charges, combos, jump attacks, crouches. It's an impressive move list, especially when you consider you only have 2 buttons, jump and attack.
Is it a stretch to call him the movie preview critic of gaming? Yeah, I'd say so. But he's not far from it. Next is the character. In all honesty, if it wasn't for the name opening and a few obvious moments, it wouldn't be that easy to tell he's a spoof. The whole joke is how happy he is, and unlike most nerd knockoffs and ripoffs, he has created his own interesting character. Despite always being happy, some videos actually hint at a dark side, making his happiness kind of scary. Although he still isn't as scary as Big Smell reviews. I mean, that smile, it plagues my dreams. It's not right, man. Not right. His acting is fine, although he isn't as charismatic as James Rolfe. There are a few moments of awful acting, but it appears to be intentional. My main complaint actually is that at times it seems like he's kind of rushing through his sentences. The humor tends to branch out from the character, and it mostly works. But as is usually the case of character-oriented humor, it could either work for or against him. You just might not find him funny. The only thing I didn't find funny was Neckbone. It's an obvious spoof of the nerd's shitpickle character, except twice as annoying and twice as nonsensical. I mean, it makes no sense. In the context of things, shitpickle made sense. Wait. No, it didn't. Okay, so it makes less sense than shitpickle. But, oh well, it's not too horrendous, I guess. The technicals are good. The audio, video, and editing are great. He isn't as flamboyant with the production values like guys like Irate Gamer or even the Angry Video Game Nerd, but they're fine. His videos could use some trimming though, as certain clips go on too long without any voiceover. And while we're on length, some of his later openings are pretty long as well, but they're all still well done. While we're on the negative things, there is one review where he stops the review in order to inform us that if we check out the director's cut, we will get a deleted scene that was supposed to go there. That ends up harming the pace. I mean, he could have just put that at the very end of the review. But it does keep from being an abominable criticism due to it only happening once. So all in all, you have an amusing spoof manages to go beyond the spoof and be something unique entirely. And his critiquing skills are just downright amazing. I'm giving him a 3.5 out of 4 stars. Why not the full 4? Well, as I said, there are some minor problems. If you have enough minor problems, they'll eventually form into a bigger problem, but nothing too severe, and he still is a great reviewer. I strongly suggest that you check this guy out if you're a fan of the nerd or gaming in general. He won't make you marvel at his technical mastery, and he might not even make you laugh, but his criticisms are among the most passionate, articulate, and stunning that I've seen for game reviewers out there.
You're forced to use the jetpack a lot less than you'd think. You can get through large portions of the game without ever really using it, but if you experiment, you can discover ways to beat levels faster and bosses easier. It's a game that rewards you for being creative, and I like that in a game.
So to check out his videos, please look at either of the links in my description. He's great. My name is MartialHorror, and my motto is if you're going to have cinematic diarrhea, then at least have the decency to wipe.